All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got three down.
Here we go. Bleeding!
That's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Good job, D, good job. That's what I'm talking about. Nice play.
Here we go, back man. Bleeding!
29 is the Mike. Mike 29.
Hey, Ford Tokyo!
Hey, watch the screen.
They'll run him now. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Hey, check. 3.
Black.
Wynn's going to try and throw on third. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up fourth down. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Four down.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Tuesday.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. 4 down.
Ready, set. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Gun!
Check. 4 down.
Blue 80!
5-2 is the Mike. Mike's 5.
Let's go!
From midfield now, here's Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Eagles offense heading out. You know, last year at this time, Charles, we said this was a franchise that's kind of been in neutral for a while. They're not neutral anymore. Defending Super Bowl champs. What do you think, favorites again?
I think so, because this team has few holes, if any. Look, your quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt before the season's over. His backup, Nick Foles, wins Super Bowl MVP. Wentz probably would have won the regular season if he'd finished out the year. Offensive line, one of the best in the game. Passing game keeps getting better. Multiple runners who can run it and catch it. Flip it over to defense. Tremendous defensive front. They can just swarm and get after you. Great coordinator, very creative. The big thing for them, they have to take everyone's best shot week in and week out during the season.
Wentz will try again on second down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. That's gonna be knocked away and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
Hey, you're on an island over there.
Now Wentz on third down. He's going to let one fly for Tate. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
My bad, guys.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to look at after the guys, is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Hey, let's
The
go.
opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey, 4 down.
Hey, red blitz.
Check it out.
Now Ryan on second down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
12.
Third and long. It's Ryan.
Here we go.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. That's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Sproles. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Double tight.
Here we go. 1, 2.
Now it's Ajayi. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Here we go. 120.
5 down. Stand up in.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tech McKinley coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away. Look at this. This is a good one. Falcons offense, Charles, heading back out there, coming off a 10-6 season, made the playoffs again, but coming off the previous season when they blew that Super Bowl to the Patriots, I think a lot of folks were expecting more in 2017. So now turn the page. What can we expect this year?
They want to return to explosiveness on offense. I mean, that's what they've got to get to. You mentioned 2016. They rolled up points like crazy. Absolutely obliterated people on the offensive side of the ball. They want to get back to that. Get Julio Jones, get him sprung free again. They drafted Calvin Ridley out of Alabama to help with that. All right? They can run the football, obviously, with Devontae Freeman. On the defensive side, the mantra is speed, speed, speed. And they want to get Vic Beasley back, chasing the quarterback, where he led the league in sacks 2 seasons ago.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Tight end left.
Ready. Move 80.
Check 52.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Now it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion
21.
on first down.
Hey.
Ready. Right 25. 11.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
Left.
You don't want none. Hey, you don't want none.
Now Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper.
10.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Only guests holding a club level ticket may utilize the escalators.
Get up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
4 down.
Here we go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Tight ends left. Tight ends left. 4 down. 4 down.
Ready. Blue 80.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the mic. He's tired of me.
Now the pitch to Freeman. He spins through. Freeman a 1st down and more. Past the 20. 38 yards on the scamper there.
You gotta love everything about that run, except for maybe a couple of things. You gotta wonder, do you fight a little harder to get into the end zone instead of going out at the 2-yard line? And I know one thing. The fantasy football guys, they are not too happy that he went out of bounds there instead of trying to get into the end zone.
Let's go.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. 4 down. 4 down.
Ready. Blue 80.
4 down.
Hey, oh. Right hash. Ready, set.
It's cold in here. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
2 tights. Odd. Fuck.
Ready. White 25.
58.
On the keeper, here's Ryan. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan taking it in. And the Falcons are in for 6. So it was 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried the sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you could kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way.
Here we go.
Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say? The guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys. No more of those. So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Here we go. 120.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Boom! I see you, boy. I see you.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
4 down. 4 down.
Here we go. Pac-Man. Blue 80.
29 is the mic. Mike 29.
Hey, Ford Tokyo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well.
At the 15-yard line.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Ready. We're ready.
Motion.
Let's go.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue 80.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down, 4 down.
Ready to go.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Blitz.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The big boys came out to play. Not up in here, brother. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more where I came.
Ready. Blue 80. Get up.
58, right over there, right over there.
Here we go.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman.
Right here.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Let's go.
Double tight.
Hey, express.
3 down.
Hey, express. Ready. Blue 80.
58's the mic. I got you, boy.
Hey, let's go.
Play it.
Get up. Wait.
It's coming this way. Here we go.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right. We got 4. We got 4.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right. Tight right.
Done. 120.
Hey, guys, check it out.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
We got
On play action, Wentz. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, red blast, red blast, red blast.
4 down. Check.
Look out.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Watch tight end.
Ready. Black 25.
4 down. 4 down.
Hey, express. Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
Felt me get a little jangly up there before that last play called, and then once it happened, I was like, oh, because it feels like almost a missed golden opportunity to take a shot in that position.
You think 1st and 5, maybe you go for a little more than a short run?
Almost a free down.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Ready. Blue 80.
4 down. 4 down.
Gun.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Watch the out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tuesday.
Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
Hey,
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Ryan, over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
4 down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away.
Number 43, waiting to return.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a
three
spot
down.
where you may
Here we
not
go,
be
here we
able to
go.
come back in the
180.
second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Hey, pick your game up.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, we got tight left, tight left. Odd, odd, odd. Three down. Odd, odd.
Black, black.
45.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Eagles on
Let's
3rd
go. Great,
down.
great.
A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, we got third.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got him. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The defending champion Eagles having their troubles in this first game since Super Bowl 52, but they've got a 1st and 10.
Single, slot.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Tight end right. 3 down.
Black, black.
29 is the Mike 29.
Again, it's Wentz.
Big stop, D. Big stop.
And
Let's go.
not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Number 17, the intended target. 3rd down.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So out come the Falcons now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Left.
Here we go.
Ready. Blue 80.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. final play of the half. It's Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. Able to spin free. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
21. 4 down. 280. Like 25. 4 down. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Even. 4 down. Even. Ready. Blue 80. 54, Sam. You got tight right there. Let go.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
4 down.
Coleman. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Right. Get there.
Contact your local travel agent for details.
Too fast, baby. Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Gun. Ready. Right 25.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They toss. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They tried to get the edge there. No edge to be found.
Yeah, and when you're trying to set the edge, trying to control either the defensive end or the outside linebacker, if you don't, that allows the defense to string a play out all the way to the sideline. And know what the sideline gives you as a defender? An extra guy. You go from playing with 11 to playing with 12, and it worked out well for the defense there.
21. Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Ready. White 25. 21. 53. Ready, go.
On second down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
That's it, baby.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Hey, we are ready to go. White 25. 4 down.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Ready. Blue 80. 21. He's coming.
From the gun, it's Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and goal.
Ready, blue 80. Black 25.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper from 4 yards out. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Oh, yeah!
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down.
Listen.
Watch 17, watch 17.
Liz 5-7, Liz 5-7.
Switch.
Hey, Gray 15, Gray 15. Listen.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Aguilar has it. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain, 42 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down, check.
Wrap.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Liz 5-7,
The tackle
Liz
made
5-7.
there by Tack McKinley.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know community is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
We got 3 down. 45.
On 1st down, Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they want to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the 2nd round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in.
They'll run to the field. Dodgers, Corey Clement. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Listen.
Now flags come in here.
I got you.
Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Check 43.
Hey, ram.
45's
This is a guy, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Elliott now to kick this one away.
Number 25, ready
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
4 down. 53's the mic.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
During the game.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Blue 80. Ready, Blue 80.
53, Mike.
Hey, Tuesday.
Pick it up.
Gun. Hey, Tuesday.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number
Go.
53. Mike, 53.
Hey, let's go.
From the gun, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
To the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Ready. Black 25. Wait.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Hey, let's go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, Tuesday.
Mike, 58. 58's the Mike.
Get up.
That's what I do.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Gun. Blue 80. Get up.
I got you.
Blue 80, sit up.
Now Ryan on second down.
You're all mine.
Wide open receiver complete.
I got it.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
Sam, ready. Blue 80. Get out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
White 25!
They will run again in Coleman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Sit on that. Blue Eddie.
I got it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Hey, 4 down.
Ready. Blue Eddie. Go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Strong right. Hey, we got 4.
He'll get it up the middle, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away.
Number 43, waiting to return.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
All day, baby, all day.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
Ready, blue 80.
Hey, I need one over here.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
20, 20. Hey, express, express.
53's Mike.
20, 20.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here we go.
Ryan wants to throw it. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Bunch set. Bunch.
Blue 80, blue 80. Right,
Jam him. Jam, jam.
right.
Pick the edge. Pick the edge. Come, come.
Let him go.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Two tights. Two tights. Hey, hey, hey. We got 3 down. 3 down.
They'll run here with Freeman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go. Sponge. 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 No, no, no.
They get it to him running left. All of 3. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away.
Number 43, back deep to return.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down. Check. 45.
Great.
Mike, 45.
From the red zone now, Wentz.
Hot.
That is caught inside the 5. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in. Switch it. Come on.
It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
Get him, boys.
Now this time Wentz will throw. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Great pick. Good job. That was a great pick. Good job.
The Eagles is lined up for the kickoff.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone
21.
back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and
smile.
shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Ready?
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Well, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Watch out.
They'll toss it to Coleman. Twisting away. Still staying on his... He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right. But I love it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Falcons, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Panthers next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.